So in this video, I will be showing the South Korean 1972 to 1973 series banknotes and the 1973 to 1979 series banknotes. So during the rapid development by President Park Chung-hee, maybe like do inflation as well, and then probably like demand of higher denomination notes. So instead of using like cashier check to make payments, so the government introduced the 5,000 and then 10,000 in 1972 and then 1973 respectively. So the 5,000 here, you have a Confucian scholar during the Joseon dynasty. His name is Yi, or I think his courtesy name is Yugul. Let me see. So I think his birth name is Yi, and the courtesy name is Yugul, or something like that. So this is the front of the note, and then the watermark is his face, and then here just the Bank of Korea, and then 5,000 yuan, no, one. And then the back here is the main building of the Bank of Korea. I think they changed to a different building probably like a few decades ago. And then the price tag here, that's how much I pay when I bought this more than a decade ago. So let's take a closer look of the notes. So here's the Confucian scholar Yi, and then here's the I think the building here used to be the Japanese governor, the general governor, when Korea was under the rule of the Empire of Japan. And then the second denomination in the 1972-73 series is the 10,000. So on the front here you have King Sejong the Great, and then you have on the right here you have the Rose of Sharon. So King Sejong, he is credited for invented the Korean alphabet in 1443. Before that, Korea, the Joseon, and then the previous dynasty as well, they used the Chinese character to write. So he was the one that created the Korean alphabet. So what you see here is not actually his portrait. Like each one of the Joseon dynasty does have a portrait of themselves painted, but maybe I think like this is a fire, and the one of the palace that stored the portrait got burned down, and then I think his portrait might get lost during the fire. So, and then the back here you have the Gunjong Jun Gyeongbokgung Palace. So the palace, I think this might be the main hall where Joseon King like stay or have like the meeting of the ministers. So here's a closer look of the palace. Okay, so here's the Bank of Korea in English, and then so the watermark is not actually King Sejong, it's a Buddhist statue. So I think they was going to have the a monk Buddhist, and here, and then I think for villages, like against, so they decided to use King Sejong instead of the Buddhist here. So that's why. And then the 1973 to 1979, the lowest denomination is the 500 1. So the 501 here, you have Amor Ishungshin, and then the turtle ship. So like famous battle. It was said that Amor Ishungshin always has smaller quantity of like ships, but always won against Japanese invasion. So yeah, and then a few years ago, there were a few movie regarding one of his like legendary naval battle. So yeah, and then there's also a few drama like based on his life as well. So the back here is Amor Ishungshin Shrine and Hyok Chungsa. So let's take a closer look of his shrine. So here the name, and then that's how much I pay for the notes. And then after this, the 500 note, they use a coin instead of the notes. So, and then the next denomination is the 1001. Here you have a Confucian scholar, politician as well, Yi Huang. And then I think his courtesy name is Yuge. So and then to the left here is the Rose of Sharon, and then portrait. So the watermark is the Rose of Sharon. So here's the one of the famous Confucian scholar, politician during the Joseon dynasty. And then the back here is the Tusan Showan, Tusan Confucian Academy. So and then I pay $14 for this note. Right already. Tusan Showan. And then these two live. I think he's the teacher for him. And then E again. Yugu. So here's the 5,000. So let's take a closer look of the notes. So now E and then Yugu. And then the watermark is his image. And then the back is the Ojuk Ho and Gannan. Okay. So Ojuk Hon or something like that. So And then the highest note is the 10,000 note. So you have King Sejong the Great, and then the water clock, one of his invention. So like I said earlier, they don't really like have an image what King Sejong actually looked like. So it's just a artist interpretation of what historian and his contemporary describe his features. So that's how they came up with the portrait of King Sejong. And then now this is the face that associated with King Sejong the Great. So you have King Sejong, and then the water clock, and then the back here is the Gyeonggi-ru Pavilion in Kampugong Palace, and then also the Rose of Sharon here too. So the Rose of Sharon is the national flower of South Korea, and then this is the price that I pay, $30. So and then the watermark is King Sejong as well. So totally, so that's all that I will be showing in this video.